Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 12. I can't believe we've gotten this far. Out of all 44, episode 12, that means we're like a quarter of the way through, a little bit over a quarter of the way. But you know what I mean. Ken Tizzard, back on board. My fitness journey at 55 years old. Okay, here's what we're going to do today, something different. I've been showing you the last while little snippets of exercises that I've been doing in the winter here when it's too cold to be outside. And these little snippets of exercises have turned into a routine for me, and I'm breaking them down and showing them a couple times a week. A lot of fun. Now here's one that I'm going to do today, and I want your help with it. It's a thing called the nose wheelie. There's a couple of types of them. There's the two-footed, I believe this one might be called the Swedish nose wheelie. And then there's the two-footed, I don't know what this one is called either. But what I want to talk to you about today is, instead of me telling you how to do things, I'm going to talk to you about my approach to this, show you where I am, and see if I can get you to give me some help on how to get this one down. I know this one in my mind, this one really focuses on balance. Now, as I said, this isn't a how-to. So I'm going to tuck my rings away so you can watch me fall all day. Just kidding. I hope not to fall. Okay, so let's start with the front nose wheelie, which is something that I really enjoy doing. I've worked out that my feet kind of, if I'm in pushing position and I want to get into it, I can just put my front foot up a little bit, somewhere about an inch behind where the bolts for the nose guard is, and I can bring my back foot up, position it next to it, and then with sort of a simple squat, I can get into that position. Now here is the thing that's getting me. Once you're there, how do you get that balance? Is it fully momentum driven? I imagine that momentum has a lot to do with it. But there is, if you get that right sweet spot, you can get that thing to go up. And when it goes up, I'm trying to get it so it feels right. I somehow feel like facing this direction is going to make it feel better. Again, I'm about an inch behind the bolts. You see that there, little just... So that's what I want to get to, is that little thing, but I feel like I need to push forward to get that to happen. And I can almost feel it, like when I'm right there. There it is. And it just stays, just for a moment. But I find what's happening is, I'm really tight down here. Sorry, I don't even know if you can see me anymore over there, looking at my big ass there. When that sort of falls into place, everything down there kind of locks up more than I want it to. And maybe that's where the momentum is going to come in to help me sort of find a more fluid way to do it. So that's one that I'm working on. Again, are my feet too far up? Should they be back further? The board tip's easier the further it is up, and it's harder the further it is back. I seem to have found the sweet spot for myself there again. It just comes off the ground a bit in the back. It's catching that balance between the two. Anyways, this is the type of stuff I do like when I'm not showing y'all the exercise parts. This is kind of how I break a trick down. And I'll do this whole thing over and over again getting a feel for where my hands are, what's counterweighting, all that jazz. And it's a lot of work. Again, if you're going to do this and you don't have a lot of experience, put on some wrist guards anyways. In here I'm working pretty low to the ground, and I'm doing this for balance, so it's that's why I'm not using these. It's actually more of a skateboard thing than an exercise. Okay, so then the next one. What happens when I want to go this way? Where's the camera there? See if I can stay in the middle for you. I have a feeling I'm going to watch this and realize I'm out of frame for a lot of it. So similar thing with this one here. I kind of feel like I can get into position from my regular skater stance and kind of shift into this and then come up. I'm sure it's possible to, no, because if I lift this foot to move it back, the board's got to come up. I mean, yeah, either way. Getting into these things is something for figuring out in the spring once I get moving. But this one here, I find the heel position is pretty important. Again, I've kind of found my sweet spot, and it's just a matter, it's also kind of a matter of knowing how far back before it feels like it's pulling my hamstrings. What are they called back there? Might be hamstrings. Oh, so again, it's one of these balance things. So I'm feeling like if I lean back a little bit, without momentum behind me, or without momentum moving me, doing this stationary is very, takes a long time to get that locked into place. So again, I can feel where, when I have momentum, similar to doing a manual, the momentum gives you that ability to kind of pump back and forth a little bit while you're doing it. So you can, I think that's going to be the same thing with these things. I believe these are called, I think this one is called the Spanish nose wheelie, which I'm really excited to try moving out on the court this summer. So I think this one's going to be a hell of a lot of fun. So there's that one and the reverse. It's just a little bit of how I work when I'm not just doing a repetitive exercise, when I'm trying to explore something. As you can see, it's lots of different exploration. The difference in pushing the board, from your toe being here to your toe being here, and that feels like a fucking gas pedal when you put that down. But if you just use the top of your foot, sometimes the ball of your foot can go down on the angle into the energy. I don't know physics. There's some people out there who do. Not me. I'm just an old guy trying not to smoke, trying to stay healthy in the winter in Canada. This has been episode 12, I do believe, of Back on Board with old dog Ken Tizzard. I'll be back with another one in a couple days. Cheers, folks.